Well, hey everybody. Today's fun wood shop project or weird shop project is a bat house. So I built these over the years. I enjoy building them, they're fun. All very easy cuts, straight cuts and rip cuts. Assemble with nails and a hammer, and we'll show you how to build one. So we'll see how this goes with the rain that's beating down on the barn right now, but what we're going to do is we have to cut pieces at 15 inches. One bat house wants 5 15-inch 1x6s. So we're building 3. We have to triple that. But I'm going to cut them 2 at a time. And we'll rinse and repeat on that until we get 15. I should have done 3 boards in a row because I ended up needing an extra 1 per bat house at 15 inch, and it's going to be a 1x4, so I'm going to rip a 1x6 into a 1x4, but that could have gotten me 18 15-inch long pieces, which is what I need for 3. So now I had to come back and finish ripping just 1 by itself, which is no big deal. Next pieces that we'll cut are going to be 18 inches long, and those will be the sides, but they're only going to finish out at 1x2, so 1.5 inches wide. So we're going to actually get 3 per. So if you're only building one of these bat houses, you really only need to cut 1 18-inch. I'm going to need to cut 2 18-inch pieces so that I can rip them down and end up with 6 for the sides. So we're over here at the table saw, and there's a part that I did off camera, which is the top inside brace, and that is just a pine 2x4. And what I did was those are 13.5 inches, I think. Anyway, a 2x2 is actually 1.5 by 1.5. I say that because I went ahead and ripped these 2x4s into 2x2s, right? So this saw is already set for the 1.5 inches, so we might as well go ahead and run the side pieces through while this saw is still set for 1.5 inches, and then we'll only have to make one change, which is to go to the 1x4 width. I got a little nervous, so before I made my cut, I went over and got my cut sheet. I'll share the link to where I got these plans. They were free on the internet years ago, and if the link still works, I'll share it. So now I've got the 18-inch pieces. Let's double check that. And those are, and I will rip those into 1.5 inch wides. And let's talk about push sticks. So these are a couple that I have and I keep just because I don't want to get my fingers cut off. So I'm going to run this table saw without the dust collector for now. Once I get off the camera and I just start pushing stuff through, I'll turn the dust collector on to the saw. But I'm just going to run these through, cutting them down to 1.5 inches. Okay, for the roof, I've got the saw set out to 3.5, which is 1x4. And like I said before, let's cut this defect out and see what we get. This is just the roof, so probably won't anybody ever see it, but I know it's there. Something to think about here. You could also get your sides off of this cutoff, but you would have to make them 18 inches and then trim the roof down. So a lot of different ways to play with saving wood. Saving wood is saving money. So we've got 2 more sets of cuts to make. This is for the front. You'll see when we go to assemble it how that looks. But basically what we need is another 1x4, or in our case 3 of them. So we'll look to see if there's any defects we can cut out. If not, this is all good heartwood. We're gonna cut that knot out. So I'll get these cut down to 1x4, and then I'll show you the last cuts we need to make before we start assembling. Okay, so the last piece we need is a shim, and the directions call for it to be 11.5 by 1 inch by 1 inch, which is 11.5 by 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch. So I have the table saw set for 3/4. I have a couple of the scrap pieces. This cut makes me nervous because it's unlikely but possible you could get some bind, you could get some pieces flying here, there, and yonder. So we're going to do the best we can. We need to end up with 1 of these for 1 box. Since we're making 3, we need to end up with 3 of these. Before we get to start assembling, I did take a strip of number 8 hardware cloth, and what we're going to do is we're going to put that on the bottom facing part of the 2x2 pine that we cut. We're going to leave it a little bit loose so the bats can get their claws into it. And what that'll do is, as you probably know, bats will hang upside down. This gives them something to grip and to grab, and whatever's extra, we'll just trim it off. If you don't have number 8 hardware cloth, I'm sure you could use a lot of different things, but having bees and using number 8 hardware cloth for a lot of the bee things I build, I had it around and that's what I've used. So we've got all the pieces and we're ready to start assembly. So this that you're looking at is the front. And so this is where you want to be a little picky with what's going to show. Fortunately for me, these pieces have that nice creamy color. So you'll see here, the back is just sitting on the back right now. This is the 2x2 pine with the hardware cloth stapled to it for grip. The inside is the rough face of cedar. Cedar typically comes surfaced all but one side. It's the rough side. Same thing on the side pieces. The inside is the rough. And so all we do is we just make sure these are parallel or flat with the top of the roof. Then we take our first piece, and what I did, it's not showing up great. I don't have a light over my saw. Anyway, I struck a line down the middle of the side brace, and then I measured, these are 5.5. So I measured 1 inch down from either edge, and then right in the middle. That way I can put my nails in a place that is going to be halfway down the board and also symmetrical. I got these nails. These are called Stormguard double dipped in molten zinc. I'll take their word on it. I wasn't there, but that's what we're going to use for these. That's what they recommended at the lumber yard. So we're just going to try to make sure we're square and flush. Everything looks good. Then we'll drive the nails in. The line is light. I can sand it off later. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Then we'll just keep going down there. Make sure that we're flush and flush. Everything wants to stay tight. I should probably put a nail, while I'm thinking of it, should measure the center and put a nail in here. which I can do that real quick. Just get these all set, make sure they're flush and square. Not having a good nail day, but we'll get to it. So we're just gonna keep going down. We'll flip it over, we'll do the back, and then I'll show you when we get to the next part. Well, I put some more light out with a portable light, and so this is the back. And for the back, I did not want the nails to hit the other nails, so I spaced them out differently. I just went from the top, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. So it's 1.5 inches, 3, 4.5, 1.5 inches, 3, 4.5. But this is the back. Probably not gonna be seen like the front would be seen. So less concerned about the way the nails actually look, more concerned that the nails are actually gonna be holding and not hitting the old nails that are in the front. Well, I want to show you a mistake I made, and that was on the reducer shim. They said to cut it 11.5 inches, which the opening as it ends up being is almost 13.5. So this is just a little shy, and I don't like that. It's designed to keep other critters that aren't bats out. So anyway, what I did here is I took some scrap and I cut it to fit. Didn't cut it to measurement, I cut it to fit. And so then what I'll do is take some glue, maybe, and I'm going to glue it to the inside, so the rough part of the bottom board piece. And we'll have, I'm going to put some brads or something in it real quick. Too much glue. I'm going to put some brads in it real quick just to hold it until the glue sets, and then I'll show you how to put that piece in on the bottom. All right, so we got the bottom shim piece affixed there. We'll wipe off that glue a little bit more. And what it wants is a 1/2 inch shim. So we're going to find some 1/2 inch material. Boy, a couple weeks ago I was tripping over 1/2 inch material. Today I couldn't find it. So anyway, we put the 1/2 inch material in there as a spacer, and then we'll just set the nails where they want to go. Okay, final step of the project then is the roof, and it's pretty much just center it, and I'm using this nail and this nail as the centers. And then we'll just keep driving. I'm very impressed with myself for thinking to start the nails first. Okay, there is a bat box. So you hang this up on a tree or on a barn or something. The idea is that the bats can get in, roost in here, be safe. A little ventilation spacer if it gets hot. Could be painted, could be left cedar, could be stained. All we have left to do is we're going to sand our pencil marks away, and we're going to keep building the other one. So I hope that you enjoy that. I hope it was useful, or if not useful, maybe it's entertaining. But anyway, thanks for watching.